the recently removed YouTube channel, which is a Pan-African media platform, African Stream, have shared their email correspondence with NBC Media of the United States. Now, that says really the correspondence between the two says a lot with all the approach and everything and how this investigation against them started. But before that, I would like to share the just released tweet from African Stream just an hour ago, updating their followers. And then I'm going to share with you the email correspondence that was shared by their on their website. Now, as you can see, so this was now the main removal after Foreign Secretary Antony Blinken came out and said this, it has been removed. Let's just hear this message and I'm going to read it. Just a second. Yeah.
RT also secretly runs the online platform African Stream across a wide range of social media platforms. Now, according to the outlet's website, African Stream is, and I quote, a pan-African digital media organization based exclusively on social media platforms, focusing on giving a voice to all Africans both at home and abroad. In reality, the only voice it gives is to Kremlin propagandists.
Yeah, so he's saying the only voice is giving is Kremlin propagandists. That's referring to Russia. Now, this is a message that they have shared on their X site, or formerly known as Twitter. African Stream has been banned by Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. We were censored after U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken made false, unsubstantiated claims against us on Friday. To be clear, contrary to the accusations, African Stream does not receive any funding from any state. We will shortly release a full statement regarding our work, our funding, and this accusation. We are currently consulting our legal team to figure out how best to move forward. We thank all of our loyal followers and encourage those who want to hear our Pan-African perspectives to join our Patreon and Telegram. We are also still on TikTok and X for now. And hashtag we are all African Stream. That is the message they have just shared an hour ago on their X sites. Okay, now I'm going to share with you now this email correspondence they had with NBC. So it shows you this is actually was published, from what I see, in July. So it started that all these accusations and against them a while ago. Let me just share that site with you. Yeah, so I'm gonna read it full for you. So this is it. It says the header. NBC News reporter Marcus Francis wrote to African Stream asking us to comment on allegations we are spreading misinformation targeting Black audiences. He didn't cite any examples, but we gave him the courtesy of response regardless. Swipe through to see his 2 emails and our response. So we are swiping down to see their correspondence. So response to NBC. Yeah, so just bear with me. I'm going to read this with you out loud. Okay, NBC News reporter Marcus Francis wrote to us at African Stream, implying that we are spreading misinformation to, in quotation, target Black audience. Now, in bracket, it says SIC. Full stop. He didn't cite any examples, but we politely gave him the courtesy of response regardless. It says, please read below to see his two emails and our response. Now, this is one I'm going to read for you is emails from Marcus Francis, which is a journalist at NBC. First email says, good afternoon. My name is Marcus and I am a reporter with NBC News. I'm working on a write-up on a forthcoming report that takes a deep dive into online networks that it claims targets Black audience with misinformation and includes your company. I am reaching for comment about whether you feel as though this is an accurate or inaccurate statement of the work that you all do and how you would like to respond to critics that say you share misinformation to that hurts Black communities. Additionally, I would love to include how you would characterize the work that you all do. I have a Wednesday 10 a.m. EST deadline, and thank you in advance for your time, best Marcus. The second email, it reads like, again from Marcus, one update. My deadline is Tuesday 10 EST, not Wednesday. Thanks in advance. Now the following is African Stream's response series, how it reads. Bear with me. Okay. Hi, Marcus Francis. Thank you for your email and for allowing us to respond. However, you should accurately indicate what we are accused of to respond adequately. It would be more in line with customary practice to lay out the allegations in detail with examples of what you mean by misinformation, quote unquote, and allow us to respond to the examples you cite. You have not done that. Instead, you sent us two emails. In the second email, you moved the deadline for us to respond from Wednesday to Tuesday at 10 a.m. EST, which gives us less than 24 hours. Again, this is not customary practice, but we will deal with it as professionals. But firstly, to avoid any misinformation on your behalf, you misspelled our media name. We are not Africa Stream, but African Stream. Now, the misspelling of our name suggests to us one of two things. A, you have not done your due diligence about our company, in bracket, which would explain why you could not cite any examples of our supposed misinformation in your email, bracket closed. Or B, this assignment was handed to you hastily, most likely by a white supervisor who wanted you to do the hit piece because it looks better optically if we are attacked by someone who looks like us. Or, as Malcolm X once brilliantly stated, they will pay one of us to kill one of us just to say it was one of us. Quotation closed. Continues. Let's answer, African Stream continues. Let's answer your questions as directly as we can. You describe us as an online network that, in quotation, target Black audience with misinformation. Quotation closed. You are half right. Although you mean Black audiences, plural, not audience, singular. We target Black audiences, although we prefer the term African to Black. We do this because we are a Pan-African digital media platform covering affairs concerning Africans at home and in the diaspora. Consequently, we cover events in countries ranging from Sudan, Nigeria, Kenya, Brazil, Jamaica, to the United States. Our team is based in Nairobi, Kenya, and we are run and staffed by Africans, including veteran journalists with expertise in regional and local politics. We present an authentically African perspective, unlike media outlets like NBC News, which represents the view of the American establishment that seeks to economically control and plunder Africa. Now, on to your more serious and defamatory allegations that we spread misinformation. Not sure how you do journalism at NBC, but at African Stream, we ensure that our journalists follow the basic principles of point, evidence, explain, PEE. Simply put, if you are to make a point like you have here, claiming we are spreading misinformation, then you need examples to back up your point. In bracket, something you have failed to provide. Bracket closed. And then finally, to explain how your examples back up your point. You need to drastically improve on 2 of 3 fronts. However, we will still attempt to answer your allegation as simply as we can. No, we do not spread misinformation. We have a vigorous fact-checking process, which means work is checked by 3 different trained journalists 3 times before posting on our platforms. Of course, like all news media, we occasionally make mistakes, but we issue a retraction when that happens. However, this has happened only a few times because of our thorough verification process. Again, if you have found any information that we have posted that is not factual, please let us know. And if we agree with your findings, we will still issue a retraction of the post and take it down. Now, we are transparent about our political perspective. Are you open with your audience at NBC about your political leanings and who and what you represent? We must and admit we don't follow your site closely, but what does filter through to us comes across as propaganda for Joe Biden's Democratic Party in the US and the US military industrial complex, which is the opposite of what the media is supposed to do. Hold truth to power. We are based in Kenya and have been covering all of the protests against William Ruto's government following the imposition of the IMF-backed 2024 finance bill. We are putting ourselves at risk to hold truth to power in the country in which we are based. Have you done the same? We notice that Julian Assange has just been set free after 5 years Belmarsh's maximum security prison in the UK, battling extradition to the United States for exposing US war crimes in Afghanistan and Iraq. We noticed NBC's sit-down interview with President Biden on the 26th November 2020. You did not ask him a single question about Julian Assange. How come? Since you are concerned with misinformation and protecting journalism, why not ask about the most famous journalist locked up at the request of the United States to the one politician who could have released him with one executive order? Since you are concerned with misinformation, you would know that WikiLeaks has an impeccable record, better than African Stream, as they, unlike us, have never had a retract story. Yet you don't bring up the case of WikiLeaks founder to the most powerful politician in the world. What was the purpose of your interview? Was it to ask the newly elected President Joe Biden tough questions, or to bask in the glory of his recent election victory? You see, we cover US politics too, but following the radical Pan African tradition of criticizing both the Republicans and Democrats, to paraphrase Malcolm X again, both parties are enemies of African people worldwide, including Africans in America. If you check our page, you will see that Trump is as criticized as Biden. A look at your page reveals that sadly criticism of Biden is woefully missing. Is supporting, funding, and arming a genocide against Palestinian children not worth criticizing? Or the fact Joe Biden has received over 5.2 million in support over the last 34 years from Israeli lobby group AIPAC, more than any congressional recipient, according to Open Secrets? Have you ever raised the question of whether this is why he is continuing to arm Israel despite pending cases by ICJ and ICC against Israel for genocide and war crimes? Please respond to these questions by Friday at 10 a.m. East African time. We hope we have satisfactorily answered your questions. Kind regards, Ahmed Caballo, CEO and founder, African Stream. That is the words of Ahmed Caballo, the CEO and founder of African Stream. I just read the email. I haven't added anything. I haven't removed anything. But it's really interesting how these things have started, and you don't see any continuation of the email in which maybe that NBC providing an example or an evidence or something. We don't see, at least African Stream has not shared it. If there is, I don't know. But you see that last paragraph is something, where you see the key point, criticizing those countries, and the Joe Biden administration. That is where it comes, very clear. There is a high risk of for channels to be banned or removed. For now, the African Stream is removed from Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube channels. They said for now they are on Twitter or X and TikTok. That's it says for now. So I don't think they will be removed from TikTok, but perhaps maybe from X.com. Recently, also, maybe it will add on this one. I think was it yesterday? Candace Owens has talked about a potential, risk that her YouTube channel might be removed. So this tells you really what is going on. Anyway, family, let us know in the comment section, what do you think of this? Tiendes, if truth is introduced into the collective West, the entire system will collapse instantly. Yeah. Lion rules the jungle. Hello. Thank you. Likewise here. Good to see you all here. Indeed, exactly. That quote of Malcolm X really exactly tells what is going on. They always assign Black journalists, Black judges at the ICC, or Black ambassadors, or whatever. As you, for example, the US has its Linda, what's her name? Ambassador Linda. I forgot her last name. Anyway. All these Black people appointing people one has to accuse us and pass any statements that they would like to do. The removal of African Stream from all those platforms at the same time shows that it was definitely. I don't want to make it long so that this can be accessible for others. I know when it's longer video, it's really not inviting for people to click and listen or watch. Thanks again, and we will see you on the next one. Bye bye. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, share the video with others, and give it a like if you want to support us further, which we would really be happy. Support us through our PayPal account. You can find it in the description section. But thank you all for tuning in, for voting, and for supporting us. Thanks.